Hello, I'm Amber, welcome back to Cats Reads, and today I'm going to be wrapping up what I've watched in the last couple of weeks. I have here 6 films. I am not going to talk about what they are about. I'll put links down below to their trailers so you can go and find out more details on the film. Let's jump in with the first film, which was The Railway Man, starring Colin Firth and I believe it's Nicole Kidman. I really love Colin Firth. I loved him in the King's Speech, and I'm really looking forward to watching other things with him in it, and I was very happy that I actually watched this. Powerful and emotional story. It was told with beautiful music, wonderful and great acting, especially by Colin Firth, who really just blew me away with how he took on his character. That ending is pretty shocking because it just doesn't seem believable, but there's pictures, there's evidence that it's true. It's just a really brilliantly well done film. 100% really drew me in, captivated me, and I was just amazed by everything. It's just a wonderful, heart-touching story, and I gave it 5 stars. Next film I watched is The Martian. I bought this film for my dad, and he absolutely loved it. He watched it like 5 times already. I knew he was gonna like it, how it's to do with Mars. So Matt Damon stars in this. I really enjoyed it. Not 100% enjoyed it. I thought Matt Damon did an amazing job. I just didn't think it was as funny as people were making it out to be, especially when it comes to the fact that it's based off a book and everybody says that it's so funny, and I don't know, I guess I thought it was going to be a little bit more on the hilarious side. I don't know where I got the expectation because I don't think that you can be that funny considering circumstances. But that being put to the side, I absolutely loved the filming and the story was great, and I loved Matt Damon in this, and it was funny. I will give it, it is funny. There's parts of it that had me cracking up 100%, but I just thought that there was going to be a little bit more on the humor side with him, like with his actual dialogue. But you know, like I said, I was putting that to the side. Everything about this film is really great. I enjoyed it 100% in that sense, but I guess I wanted more funny. I wanted more humor. I will say this, that it was kind of boring to me. There was times where it was a bit too slow, kind of dragged for me here and there, but it is an enjoyable watch, which is why it got 4 stars. A Walk Among Tombstones starring Liam Neeson, and it has a pretty slow build up. I will say this about it. You're gonna have to be a bit patient with this film. Things seem to happen all at the very end, which did kind of annoy me. But what I really enjoyed about this film is that you actually saw Scuttler, the main character that's played by Liam Neeson, actually investigating. You saw his investigation from point A to point B to point C, and you saw where it was taking him, and I really appreciate that because it's completely different than the typical detective murder mystery type thing that you would get, and I really enjoyed that. I felt Liam Neeson played his character spot on, but this is a predictable role for him to play. He tends to play these kind of roles a lot, and of course it's his kind of role, but he did great. It was a good, strong film, and if you're patient and you enjoy the investigation side of things, then this is going to be for you. So I gave it 4 stars. It's more like 3 if I really am being honest about it. But it was a good, very strong film. The Last Witch Hunter starring Vin Diesel. Okay, I really thought this was going to be a super horror type film where I was going to be scared shitless, but instead there was moments where I, at the point of rolling my eyes at how hard they were trying to be scary, but ended up not making it scary at all. It was a fun, entertaining film, and for what it's worth, it entertained me immensely, but it wasn't as scary as I was expecting it. I liked Vin Diesel. He did a great job, although his voice was a little bit of annoying to me. I don't know why. It bugged me because it just didn't seem like it was really his voice, but I think it was. You know, it's a simple, straightforward witch fantasy story, I guess. A little bit, way less horror than what I expected, and I think that's the fault of people mislabeling it, I think. So, you know, I went into the film expecting something that I didn't get. Maybe that's my own fault. Maybe it's the fault of people saying that it's horror and it really isn't. But with all that said, like I said, it was fun. It was enjoying. It was entertaining, and it gets 3 stars. Next we have San Andreas starring The Rock. A really good disaster film. I will give it that. And I really liked The Rock in this film. He did a good job. They did great with the special effects, but it really started to get on my nerves how they would, every time they get themselves into a situation, it was always at the last minute that they got out of it. They were always got into a situation. They always got out of it at the last minute. It was just this round of predictable, cheesy, ridiculous situations all the way from the beginning to the end of the film. I really did not appreciate the romance between his the man's daughter and the guy that she ends up going with in order to survive, and it was just a really frustrating thing. Like, you really don't know this guy, you've only just met him right then. It doesn't always have to end up with them being in love, and it's just such ridiculousness. If it hadn't been for that, I probably would have enjoyed this a little bit more than what I did, because it is a strong disaster film, and if you turn your blind eye to that insta-lovey crap, it would have gotten 4 stars, but it only got 3. Miss Pettigrew Lives a Day. It was placed when the Second World War is about to begin, and things are starting to kind of build up, and Miss Pettigrew has lost her job and kind of pushes herself into another job with a film actress, and it's a funny but heartful story, and I absolutely loved it. I loved Miss Pettigrew. I loved the lingerie creator guy, and Amy Adams. I feel like her acting was overdone. Like, it was just over the top, and it kind of got on my nerves a bit, but it was just a really great story, really great told story, and I absolutely loved it. So I gave it 5 stars just because the actress who plays Miss Pettigrew, I'll put her name here if I can remember to find it, she does such an amazing job, and I loved the character, Miss Pettigrew. She was just very conservative, but she wanted to be modern, and just seeing how she tended to get herself into these scrapes, it was just a wonderful thing to watch. Also, the one of the characters, the actress who played Monine Myrtle in the Harry Potter films, and I loved it because her voice has that same kind of voice as in Harry Potter, and I didn't really think that that was her actual voice, but apparently it is, and I really loved seeing her in something different, and overall it was just a wonderful film, so I gave it 5 stars.
Which I think I already told you.
I watched Max, and the fact that it made me cry right out of the gate really got me, and I really enjoyed this film. It had a lot of heart. It was told in a way that really got you invested with the dog and what was happening with the boy and the family. I did not like the boy from the very beginning. He was such a brat, and I just wanted to give him a good old spanking, which he deserved. But he grew on me as it went on, and I understood why he acted that way, but it was just, he had no respect, and it just really frustrated me. And so it was hard to work that, but because of the story on the whole, I really was able to delve into this story and love it for what it was, and I gave it 5 stars because I loved all the acting, I loved the story, and I loved the dog. It was just a really great film. The very last film that I watched is The Jungle Book, which I went to the theaters to watch with my brother, and I loved every moment of this. It was a really fun, entertaining film with better special effects than what I was expecting to get, and I liked it better than the animated film. I'm sorry, but that animated film really annoys me. It's just this very simple story with really little depth to it. What I really loved about this film was the fact that you actually got more of a better understanding with the relationship between Mowgli and the wolves, and there was just a lot more depth to the story because you got more understanding, you got more actual character development. You actually got an actual story, and I loved it. I loved the boy who played Mowgli. I loved all these different characters, and it was all really well done, a whole lot better than I was expecting, considering that the trailers didn't really give me hope for the special effects, but it was all really well done, very strong, and I give it 4.5 stars. In the end, I did give it 5 stars, but I think it was more like 4.5 because it wasn't a perfect film, but I loved it, and I'm very glad that I was able to watch it in the theaters. So those are all the films that I've watched recently. Tell me down below if you've watched any of them. I would love to talk to you down below about any of them. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to be smiling.